What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So today I want to talk about family fame and how you guys can make like 700 to like 900 mil a week just by logging in and literally not doing anything. So as we all know, in the past couple of months, I believe like probably 6 months at this point, they've buffed family fame, and the way it works now is basically it's the same thing, but you just get more silver than before. So we're going to be kind of breaking this down on what you should do, whether you're a beginner, returning player, or like you're free to play and everything, and you're wondering, how do I make more silver just by like logging in? So I make about 120 mil every day just by logging in, and let's go over it. How do we do it? What's the best way to do it? So combat fame. This one is probably the easiest and most productive way to make silver in the game, simply because you get multiple character slots, and then sometimes some of them are free if you've been playing for a while. You have a lot of characters, and even if you're new, this is something I would definitely recommend doing. All you have to do is basically level your character up, and you see how in the tooltip it says get 1 to 56 for like 1 point, and then it doubles from 56 and then 60 and on. It goes to like quintuples, so multiplies it by 5. So yeah, combat fame is the #1 way you're going to be boosting the amount of silver you get every week. And you know, if you've been playing this game quite a while, even if you don't play all your characters, you kind of just probably have a lot of them. I'm not sure how many free character slots people get nowadays. I've been playing this game for so long, and at some point you probably have like at least 5 to 10 of them from like just free ones or loyalties. And so yeah, just by playing new seasonal characters, you know, trying out different classes and everything, getting them all to level 56 and then 60. 60 is probably the standard these days, just because that's what you need to graduate season, or well, you can do it under, but it's not, you might as well just finish it. And then 61 to 66, you know, just if you like the character, you do it. So my recommendation for you guys is get all your characters to at least level 60. And then like you have your main, maybe a second one at level 66, 65, and so on. That's where all the like combat X fame and stuff is coming from. So yeah, this is most of your silver where it's coming from. Combat fame just by playing the game, playing new characters, and so on. Life fame, this one is a little bit harder, just because like you have to get things to guru for things to, you know, get a huge boost in numbers, and then professional is the previous breakpoint. And so I wanted to run through this. I've talked about this in other videos of like which life skills are the easiest to level, but we'll just run through this one real quickly. Gathering is actually, I wouldn't say it's hard, it's just time gated, because you have a certain amount of energy, and if you wanted to power level it, you have to do it on all your other characters. So once again, character fame or your combat fame is the most important. But yeah, if you only play like 1 or 2 characters or anything, I would say gathering. You'll get there over time, but you're just really locked by the amount of energy you have. So especially for newer players who don't have a high energy pool total, this one might take you longer. Fishing, that you just get that naturally. If you go fishing all day, then levels just happen. My recommendations for all of you guys, let's say you don't play the game all day, just leave your game on while you're going to work or you're sleeping, and you know, just leave the game on. So here's what people do, you know, to like, let's say you're worried about your computer overheating or something happening. So when you're fishing, right, what you do is you minimize the tray, and basically you could look at your task manager to see how much of your CPU percentage is actually being used. One thing I've seen other people do is you basically go into the Pearl shop, and then you click some tab where it's like, not like it's a still thing, where like there's no animations or anything. So you're basically like, this one is for the most part a still one, so it's using up CPU. Most modern computers, you will not have an issue. The best thing you could do is just probably put it into minimize the tray, and you're good to go. If you want to go the extra step, is something non-animated in a way, like you see those pop-ups, you will kind of avoid that. So yeah, fishing, while you're at work, well, if you leave your game on overnight, set to fish, you probably get yourself to Guru pretty more quickly than others. So that's one thing. Hunting is a very active life skill. I personally went from master 1 or like low master to Guru in 2 days. I have a video on how I did it too. You guys can watch that video. I'll leave it in the description. But that one is an active one. You probably will lock in probably about like 10 hours or something. But yeah. Aside from that, getting from 1 to like master, very easy. Master to Guru, it's a little bit time consuming, but it's not too bad. Just know it's not like AFK fishing. Cooking, you could just leave this one on as well. It's semi AFK in terms of like you set your items in your inventory to cook it for a while. If you have those advanced tools or whatever they're called, the supreme ones that give like the 5,000 durability, you kind of have to check it like every 20-30 minutes or so. So that's why you have to kind of be back like twice an hour and then reset all your materials and everything. Alchemy is a little bit slower in terms of like you won't run out of materials as fast because it doesn't have the mass alchemy the same way it does cooking. So if you just want to leave this on, cooking is faster than alchemy. If you just want to get those levels, alchemy is a little bit slower. But if you don't have as much time, let's say you only can check your game once every few hours, then alchemy is probably the better one to go. Processing, this one is very easy. If you've been playing the game for a while, you probably have nodes set up and materials in your storages that you'll never use. Just go process that. Admittedly, you probably will need that pay to win processing outfit where you can process things from your storage, and then you could just save more time by doing that one. So yeah, this one's really easy one if you have the pay to win thingy. Training, they actually made the change a while ago. So you know how when you have a horse, it doesn't auto level anymore. You have to press the button when you want to level it up. I think that's a good feature overall. So that way you can just level up your horse one by one and store the XP. That was a really great change, by the way. So yeah, nowadays you could just train 24/7. What I would recommend doing is if you were doing that, go into the, the Elvia realm. That way there's no NPCs or there's really no players, and then just set your thing from auto path from point A to B, and you won't do that. And with that said, after that, what you could do is just auto path in a safe zone. What I would recommend is pick areas that have more or less straight lines, because I see people auto pathing in Heidel and like in towns, and it's not that you can't do it, but it's one of those things where, like, you know how you're making an L turn through the town? There's so many things you can get stuck on to the point where I would recommend just doing this. Going from like Olvia and then having it path, or like, see, this is how kind of a more or less straight path. There's very minimal obstacles from like Port Euphoria down to like, you can even start over here or Olvia from point A to B, and then just set your horse training or wagon, setting it from back and forth there, and then you're good to go. So that's one way to do it. Pretty good. But aside from that, Elvia Realm is probably good to go. Next thing is trading. I would not really worry about this one. This one is, literally time gated by how fast your workers can make materials and how much XP you're stacking with buffs when you do your twice a year trading crate turn in. So it's one of those things where trading is very hard to level if you didn't do it back in the day. And remember when they talked about this like 3 years ago, they were like, oh, we're gonna bring back trading. Yeah, that never happened. So anyway, farming, very time gated by just like how fast, like what kind of things you're growing. I wouldn't copy mine, by the way. I do this for the byproducts, and then I should probably switch it, but I'm lazy. Selling and bartering are also very difficult ones because the XP scaling is not as equal to everything. So you have to like be in the ocean all day, every day if you want to level up sailing. And I believe even if we looked at the leaderboards, I'm pretty sure sailing Yeah, like there are very few guru sailors out there. There's a lot more barterers that are guru, but sailing is very difficult to get to guru. So if I were to you, here's what I would do. If you just want to get fast gurus, probably these at the top, maybe farming, but I would probably start with fishing, cooking, alchemy, and processing. Those are very easy and fast ones to do where that don't require too much effort. And then yeah, so special fame going into the final one. This one is just your total knowledge and contribution points. Contribution points if you do a lot of cooking, gathering, or alchemy, you probably get a lot of byproducts. Same with fishing, and you could turn those into contribution points as well. The ones I would probably do that for is probably cooking and alchemy, just because that one gives contribution points really good. Same with farming. Farming is good for contribution points, and then you get that. And then aside from that, knowledge is literally just playing the game naturally, finishing all your logs and everything here. You get most of the knowledge playing the game. The ones you have to go out of your way for are probably adventures, academics, and the ones that give energy. So if you ever decide you want to do like an energy push and just see how high you can get the number, I believe that number is probably with the millennial ginseng probably around like 7 or like 790 something nowadays, and I would say around 400 energy is what most people can get, playing semi-actively and playing the game naturally. Everything else beside that is you are literally going out of your way to do all of it. But I mean, sometimes it's really not that bad. You just go to like BDO Codex, and then there's that site where people tell you, like, they post screenshots on where they go. And is that another person that just noticed me? Hold on, that's like 2 people that noticed me while I was making a video. Cool, what's up? Anyway, yeah, just do energy grinding, knowledge grinding, and then that just comes naturally. And then after this one is a combination of all 3. So you'll get this one by combat fame this one is very important, and then everything else by the other 2. So with that said, that's all I wanted to talk about. TLDR, make more characters, level them up to 60. We talked about the life skills, which one I would recommend are the easiest ones. And then special fame is a little bit difficult because you kind of have to go out of your way to get more contribution points, or and like ecology knowledge and all that stuff. But it is worth it. The more silver you get, it's just free silver every day. Awesome. And with that said, thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I like to talk about current events in the game for people who are new to the game, returning, looking to just get better. And so we usually upload pretty frequently. So, yeah, hope you guys come back. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Peace.